What are we celebrating today?
4th of July.
Really?
That's a
on the
date.
calendar?
There you go.
Independence Day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Independence from what?
War.
From war? We don't have war anymore?
No, from England at that time.
That's right. And what time was that? What year was that?
1776.
Awesome. You're doing fabulous. You know how many people simply don't know those three answers?
That's
oh
terrible.
Oh my gosh,
isn't
it is terrible.
Yeah.
So can you name 2 founding fathers?
Well, that would be Washington, Jefferson, Hamilton.
Awesome.
So, who else was in that writing declaration?
Okay.
Bunch
So
of radicals, weren't they?
This up a little bit.
No,
You're
they
pretty
had a good
educated.
head on them, that's for sure.
Can you name the 5 freedoms, liberties listed in the First Amendment? Or,
First Amendment.
Well, you got freedom of religion, freedom of speech.
Good.
I don't know. Is it
Ask
right
your
to bear
friend.
arms? Is
No,
that
that's
it?
the Second Amendment. Ask your buddy here.
I got a couple. I need a little
Come
help
on.
here.
Give him a little
Freedom
high
of
five.
religion, freedom of
You
speech.
can help him.
Yeah, I got those.
Yeah.
What are we doing today that we're all coming together?
We're celebrating, but for our independence.
When you go to church on Sunday, everybody gathers.
Well, that's freedom of religion. I said that, right?
You can gather, but not do church.
Yeah.
Okay, so we call that freedom to assemble.
Oh,
Peaceably
okay.
assemble.
I would never got that one right
Yeah.
Newspapers.
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What is it?
Press.
That's
Freedom of the
right.
press.
That seems to be
Okay,
going away
now-
right now.
Oh, it's kind of up in the
Because
air,
we have
ain't it?
some
Yeah.
Fake news going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean.
They've made themselves, you know, worthless. And
Well, I
untrustworthy.
don't.
The last one is if they try taking any of the other 4, you got a right to.
Well, there's only a few countries
Appeal,
I know
kinda.
of that don't have the freedom of the press. Let's go with North Korea, let's go with China, and let's go with Russia. Okay? So I don't want to head that direction. Okay? So I'm going to fight for freedom of the press. Okay?
What if they told you you couldn't pass out papers like that? Then you'd have a right to redress of grievances.
Yeah.
Redress of grievances, that's the 5th
Yeah.
one.
Well, freedom, a lot of people don't really understand the prices of freedom, especially in the Second World War. The Second World War was big.
So whose freedom was bought with the Second World War?
Whose freedom? Well, you mean us?
Whose freedom was bought with that blood?
All our veterans, and of course everybody in our country behind that united
But
effort.
whose freedom was bought? It wasn't bought on American soil.
Well, you freed Great Britain, you freed France, you freed
Almost
Belgium.
all the world, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what she was looking for?
Australia would have been taken, and that was stopped at Guadalcanal. Okay, and so Australia was saved. I don't know. Then we got Holland and Amsterdam saved. So a lot of
A lot of
European.
the European countries
Yeah.
benefited from our
And then we
willingness
built
to
up
be-
Germany, and then we built up Japan after. And people have failure to see the,
the value in rebuilding.
well, yeah, I think when the war started, our army was rated number 7 or something. And after everything was destroyed, everybody come together, and we fed with our industries all the arms and ammunition to win that war, industrially.
Okay, so
So-
we're going to ramp this up one more time. Jury duty. Ever been called?
Yeah, but they didn't like it.
You know, Judy.
Mouthy.
Well, no, first time I got called, I knew one of the students that I had, so I taught biology and
So you
anatomy.
were a peer and they didn't want you to be a peer?
That's it, yeah. Or I knew another guy, so I got out of it.
Okay, so when you sit on a jury, true or false, you may vote your conscience on the verdict.
Well, you should be able to vote your conscience.
Do you think it is true that you do?
Well, right now I think a lot of money and crap's involved in this, And I think a lot of the people that they choose are selected purposely.
They're not necessarily the peers
Not the
of
brightest people on the duties.
They just do what they're told.
Some might, yeah.
So when the judge
Or
gives
easily
instructions
influenced.
and says you can only vote on the merits of the case, you can only consider the facts. You can't let your conscience or opinion of the law or
That's
the
probably
motives
why I
of the
got kicked
defendant.
out of there.
Good chance.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I
So how
think
did the people who have a brain get on juries and stay on?
how do they?
So that the people who are on trial can get a decent
trial,
can get
yeah.
some justice, not
Yeah,
just a bunch
yeah,
of
there
idiots.
should be a not just one color or one gender. It should be a lot of different representations for people.
Yeah.
I think she might be thinking you got to act stupid until you get on the jury so that you can do what's right.
Yeah, now I'm so old they don't want me.
Well, I want to give this to you. You might know other people who are going to be called for jury duty and help them to understand their duty.
If they read that, they won't try and get off of duty. They'll try and get on instead.
Good
Well,
job.
that's-
You did a really good job today.
Thank
There's
you.
a lot of people who cannot answer that.
That's
I
a
was fortunate enough not to have to serve on the jury
Why do you say that?
because my position with the county engineering department, I worked directly with the sheriff's office, the prosecuting attorney's office.
Well, I was a teacher, and I got out of it until the summer came, and then I got hammered a couple times, but I never got called to stay there.
So, do you
I was ineligible,
do
basically.
you see jury duty as a burden or a?
Not necessarily, no. I think
How are you?
it's,
So I think most people say I got out of it.
I
as
think
if it
it's
was
a
duty.
service,
It is a duty.
but with a lot of felons and stuff that's going on, say I work directly with the prosecutor's office, so I would just be eliminated.
Yeah, it would. It would be unfair.
The system in Washington is so much different than Oregon. Because when I tried to do something, buying a house, well, you have to go with the clerk. Well, in Washington, the clerk runs a judicial system. We have an auditor. Your clerk here does the same thing the auditor does in Washington. So it's a lot. Of course, I'm over 70, so I don't have to serve.
Well, enjoy the
I would.
parade.